Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. It's time for another video from my series Quick Thoughts On, in which I always talk about different stories from the rich Star Trek universe. My last 2 weeks were absolutely horrible, spending 10 to 12 hours in work every day, but I finally have the time to watch me some Star Trek, which means I have finally had the chance to watch last week's episode of Star Trek Discovery. It was called Such Sweet Sorrow, and these are my honest opinions about it. And because this is a Discovery video, it will be relatively short and relatively spoiler-free. Well, what can I say about it? There is basically nothing to say about this. The episode has one huge problem. Nothing really happens in this episode. Everything from this episode could be edited down to 5 minutes. Everything important happens in the teaser. We start with Sarek and Amanda somewhere. I have no clue where it should be, because it's clearly not Vulcan. Not only does the scene take place near a giant sea and something which looks like a forest, they also can get to the Discovery in something which looks like a couple of minutes. So what is this scene about? Well, Sarek is meditating and Amanda brings him a bowl of dry ice. That's the scene. We then cut back to the Discovery. They have finally decided to blow up the ship so that they can destroy the sphere data, which means they are going to evacuate the ship's crew to the Enterprise using some incredibly stupid magical corridors. This scene is really dumb. I mean, both of the ships have fully functional transporters, and they don't even mention them. Why? We finally see the bridge of the USS Enterprise, and I actually like it. Good work, you guys. You have done something good. This is one of the very few redesigns in this show which I actually like. Nice work. So they watch what they think is going to be the self-destruction of the Discovery, but nothing happens. They try to blow it up from the Enterprise. Nothing happens. Because the sphere data is protecting itself. Yes, data lying on the Discovery hard disks are alive. That's stupid on so many levels. So what does the Discovery crew do? They return back to their ship, which they just now evacuated. What was the point of the sequence? What is the point of this episode? What is the point of this series? So, plan B, they will create their own Ant-Man / Iron Man / Ironheart / Red Angel suit, because when they have 1 hour before the Section 31 ships arrive, of course they can build a magical device. I would be able to believe that Michael's parents built the original suit after many years of development, if I was very drunk. But are you now trying to tell me that Michael can create the same suit within an hour and learn how to fly it? This is seriously stupid. How is it possible that after 2 years I am still able to be surprised how stupid they can get? So while the technicians build a replica of the magical suit, Michael learns how to fly it from her mother's video recordings. Because the woman who spent decades of her life trying to save all sentient life in the universe also had apparently time to record an instruction manual for the suit. Why would she do something so stupid? Isn't it an equivalent of a driver of an ambulance rushing to save lives, suddenly starting his phone and starting to record detailed instructions how to drive the ambulance? Instructions so detailed that a person who has never sat in a car before will learn how to drive it perfectly after watching them once? I know I ask this question a lot during this series, but did a 5-year-old write this? So the plan is for Michael to fly the suit to the future and take the Discovery with it using the autopilot, and then stay in the future. Sounds good to me? But no, we get a 15-hour-long montage of people saying goodbye to Michael and telling her how awesome she is, even though we have never seen it during the last 2 years. Even Sarek and Amanda suddenly arrive to tell her how much they love her, because of course they will tell it to her instead of telling something similar to their biological son, who is on the same ship, by the way. I guess that in the minds of the producers, this sequence of never-ending scenes was supposed to be very emotional, but the only thing I could think about during it was, please stop, please. Oh, I almost forgot a plotline. Poe returns. You remember Poe, right? The predator who is a wild, savage animal, and at the same time a super genius, who looks like she's 50 but she's actually 17 and she's exactly as old as her planet, who is also her twin sister, who ran away from her planet/twin sister because she was forced to do something what she didn't want to, and she came up with a method of recrystallizing the lithium, which is a thing that cannot be done in Star Trek 4, but she can do it, and she loves ice cream, and she's the queen of that planet. Yes, that's a real character, even though it sounds like a character from some Star Trek parody. She is now on board. Why? Well, because she needs to find an energy equivalent of a supernova to power up the time crystal, even though she never saw one, and to eat ice cream. She's a woman, so she can do more things at the same time. And when she comes up with a method, she decides to stay with the Discovery. Because which queen wouldn't abandon her people when they need her, right? Our heroes, everybody. Oh, and they destroyed Tilly, who was the only character which I kind of liked in the first season. Nobody on the ship knew about the Poe incident, which means that Tilly found an intruder on board and never reported her, which means she is also a criminal, but we don't punish criminals on this show, we reward them. I'm honestly surprised that they didn't promote her after her treason. Well, things happen, I guess, I don't know, but the only thing I remember is that I had to drink 2 coffees during this episode, and I still barely could stay awake. This is one of the dumbest episodes of Star Trek Discovery, but at least it's really, really boring. On my standard scale from 0 to 10, where 0 is complete garbage, 5 is just average, and 10 is a masterpiece, I would give this episode 1 out of 10, and that 1 point is for the design of the bridge of the Enterprise, nothing else. I'm so happy that this show is ending, but this week we also got the final episode of Star Trek Discovery, at least the second season. I'm going to watch it right now and expect my last Discovery video tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching and see you very soon. Bye.